live.
Let's just see if the it is. It looks like it actually is. Is it going
It
through?
actually is. It is going through. It is
My
working.
God. Thank Sky Daddy. Um, I
There we
no
go.
longer refer to God as God anymore. I just refer to him as Sky Daddy because you
Sky
learn a
Daddy.
lot about the people that get upset about it.
It's
um,
pretty immediate. Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And we have a fun little feature that's up and running, and it should be running across Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and that's the only places we're streaming right now. All the live chat, you guys, is in the studio. All of it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to keep
All of it.
switching screens anymore,
Well,
which
look at that
also
shit.
means be very careful about what you're saying in the live chat.
Yeah. Just make sure you put it in the studio chat if you're gonna text us.
Oh, I
Put up as
see
many middle
it.
fingers as you want. Hi,
Mm-hmm.
Laura.
Hey,
Hello,
Air Force.
hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hey, guys.
Air Force is there. The whole damn
Mm-hmm.
crew. Look at that. Guys, we don't have to switch screens a million times. You know how nice this is? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know how easily
Yeah.
disoriented I get between like the caller screen, the live chat.
It's a
Stream.
lot.
It is.
Now I've just got two.
Gil has like
But yeah.
6 monitors set up, and each one is each different live stream or chat, and he's just
Right?
like, I don't even know where to look. Conveniently,
So,
all placed in a row in front of him, so he's always looking at the camera. It looks like he's just
right?
looking at the 6 monitors.
It's true. It's true. Let me make a
Mm-hmm.
quick adjustment here. Oh yeah. Did that go through?
Well,
Hey,
we
hey,
are
y'all.
live.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray. Something's
How it.
different this time. I don't know what.
What is it?
What is
I
it?
think it's I think it's the fact that Kristen's back, everybody!
Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Pew, pew, pew.
Yes.
Pew, 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 pew.
I'm
Yes.
back. I'm
I'm not
Mm-hmm.
back.
I'm not not trying to make a big deal out of this, but
Yeah.
just kind of we missed you, K-Boos.
We did.
Thank
We did.
you. Thank you. Thank you. I missed you too. Okay. Okay, that's good.
They can keep going forever. Yeah.
Not that big of a deal.
Mm,
It's a big deal to us. It's a
It
big deal
is.
to everybody
Oh,
out there that
we did
watches.
miss you. Mm-hmm.
oh,
Mhm.
thanks,
So,
guys. Well,
Yeah.
good to be back and excited about tonight's episode.
it should be a
Yeah.
fun one. It should be a fun one.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This was your idea, Damien.
It
Yeah.
was not my idea.
It wasn't? Wait, who's. Wait.
It was my coworker Amanda's idea.
Amanda
Mm.
for the win.
Yep.
Thank you, Amanda.
Amanda.
Thank
She
you.
suggested it, God, I think back in like December or January. And yeah. And when I pitched it to you guys, I was like, I think this would be really good. And here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got 7 thumbs up on that one.
Mm,
Hell
it's
yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm.
And a few Hail Satans too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
D-Boos, do you want to kind of break it down for the audience, like what we're gonna be covering, what this
I
episode's
will.
about?
I
Maybe
will.
get their brains kicking and rolling with
So
some ideas about what to call in about.
so this is called Echoes from the Grave. And the hints kind of right there in the title, this is going to be about haunted cemeteries. Any kind of weird shit you've had happen in a cemetery, be it during the day, during the night, whatever. If you've had something weird happen at a cemetery, we want to talk about it. So I'm pretty excited about it because I have quite a few of my own. So
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense there.
All
it does.
This
Usually,
together.
tracks.
every
This
episode
tracks.
you have. Oh, I got a bunch.
So
You have really experienced the gamut of life.
at
Yeah.
least on the paranormal side.
Yeah, you really have. I'm envious in some places.
So
Mhm.
hey, you can always tag along sometime.
That's true. I will be near you soon.
You will.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh,
let's
that's
go ahead
gonna
and
be
get this thing
chaos.
started because I'm excited because I
Yeah.
actually found a good drink, hopefully. So I'm going to start it
Mm.
off. I don't think I ever started off.
Hell yeah.
Has anybody
Good.
ever seen the movie The Witch?
Mm-mm.
I
Oh,
think so.
I think so.
I think
It's
it
like a
came out in like
weird.
2018 about witches and stuff like that.
Okay.
So anyway,
Yes.
there's technically a character in the movie.
Mhm.
He's a black goat. His name is Black Phillip, and he is Satan
Okay.
in the movie. And I found something called Black Phillip Blood Orange and Cranberry Hard Cider.
Hmm.
So
Ew.
Is that the
That
goat on
is
the
a good
front?
one.
that is the goat on the front.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
So I was pretty excited when I seen this. So
Hmm.
And
that's actually really good. This could be
nice.
scary.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh. Could be
Oh
dangerous for
shit.
Damien
Okay.
tonight.
So
Oh
yeah.
I
god.
don't call him Damien dangerous for nothing.
Danger D.
All right, Caboose, what
Alright.
about you since you weren't here last week or last month?
Yes. Yes. Well, I've been laying off the sauce quite a bit more than usual recently. But just for tonight, I did grab a couple of new ones. I wanted to branch out a little bit. I mean, I still got to do my IPA, so I found this one. It's Founders Mortal Bloom.
Oh, nice.
Mortal Bloom.
Okay.
And then, you know, just to get wild, I got the Beast.
Hell
Hard,
yeah.
Nice.
hard
Oh,
something.
you were gonna get
Yeah,
messed
following
up.
you in your footsteps there. Well, they're both like very low ABV, so I was like, yeah, this is healthier. so, so that's what I'm
Mhm.
rocking tonight.
Nice. Nice.
Love it.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
Gilbert.
Yes, I have Lagunitas, the beast of both worlds.
Hell
Mm,
yeah. Y'all both got some beasts going tonight.
excellent choice.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Well, I
thank you
also
again.
have them.
Sorry. Oh, please,
Oh,
Joey.
no, you don't even have to go.
Continue.
I just have a Mexican Coke. As I still am laying off drinking for a little bit, so
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I was interrupting because I was complimented so lovingly a little while ago. Uh,
it must be seen.
I'm taking it. I'm taking that damn compliment.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
It's going on the socials.
Mm-hmm.
It's going on the socials. So let's see here.
So yeah, it's March 1st. So it's a brand new month, and I'm glad it's March 1st because February sucked. So um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go ahead and dive into this real quick because uh, like I said, February was a pretty shitty month on my end. Normally we're happy-go-lucky, joking around, and always in a good mood on this show. But I just want to mention something. Um, I did have an uncle that passed away last month. But that's not really what I want to get into. The evening of his visitation, scrolling through Facebook, and I come across a post that kind of really took me by surprise, and it's really kind of weighed in on me ever since I found out this happened. A friend from school, I guess, just you know was battling a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to go into a lot of details or say who the person is, but he decided that he couldn't take life anymore, and it's just
Yeah.
going through his post. It was just it's really weird looking back on it now that everything was so motivational with what this person posted, and they was always happy and smiling, and it's just like it was really took everybody by surprise that like everybody that knew this person,
Yeah.
and they apparently were struggling more than anybody ever realized. And I just want to throw it out there that if anybody listening or listening now or listening later, if you're ever struggling or feel like you're alone or you're not enough, fucking reach out to our page. Any one of us will talk to you. If you don't think you have anybody else, you have four people right here that would fucking just listen to you talk. Um,
Mhm.
because I don't want anybody to ever think that they're not enough and they're alone, because you're not. Um, every single person that watches this show, that watches any of our individual shows, that everybody in general, they are enough, and there's always somebody there. Even if you don't have people in your personal life, there's hotlines you can call. There's resources you can reach out to, and I know this person knew that, and I just don't think it was enough for that person because he they went through a lot of shit, and in the end, it just wasn't enough. But don't ever give up. Don't ever feel like you can't go any farther because I can assure you there's somebody there that it's going to affect. Um, so I just wanted to put that out there for a minute, and like I said, that's really weighed heavy on me the last couple of weeks, and I'm going to their celebration of life here in a couple of days, and I know it's going to be an intense thing for everybody there. So that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to put that out there before we got started. So
Yeah, man. And I mean, it goes without saying, but yeah, we're just really sorry for your loss and just a horrible month. And Yeah, and I am here for all of you as well. Like
Mhm.
that should go without saying as well. But
right,
anytime, man, I got y'all.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This
definitely.
is we're on Joey and I's end. We're constantly online.
Hmm.
We're constantly attached to the account. I only sleep about 4 hours at a time. Joey's generally awake during the 4 hours that I do sleep. So somebody's always over at the Black Cat
Mhm.
Report accounts.
Hmm.
Instagram's a great spot. And this is not a sly promotion or anything for a Patreon, but we do have a 24-hour like live chat going on in our Patreon, and the community there is incredibly fucking awesome and
Very
supportive.
supportive.
The folks
Mm-hmm.
there, um, it's a free speech zone. It's not a free hate zone, and there's a huge difference. So no matter what it is, um, somebody's always around to chat.
Mhm.
So if you're hearing this now, or if you're hearing it in the future, those are some options across all these different channels and networks that we have.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah. I really just feel good that February is the shortest month out of the year. So.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So yeah. All right.
let's see
So
what
how do
else.
we want to kick this party off? Do we want to go to a listener submission? Do you want me to talk a little bit? How do you guys want to go? Kristen, you weren't here last month. I'm going to let you pick.
Mm.
Oh goodness. Well, I just missed your stories so much. Why don't we start with one of your tried and true and tested stories, and then we'll do a little listener submission, and then we'll open up the lines.
All right.
Love it.
So this is about haunted cemeteries, strange shit happening at cemeteries. I know I've probably told these stories before on the show, but to anybody that's never listened before, this is your first time tuning in. I'm going to tell some of them again because they are pretty intense. Some of them, I think. Um, all these happen at the same cemetery. Um, I grew up in a little small town in Middle Tennessee, about 40 miles west of Nashville. Um, so there wasn't a whole lot to do back then. There's a whole lot more here to do now than there was back then. So back when we were teenagers, there was a cemetery we always heard was haunted. Long story short, back in like the early 1900s, I believe, or late 1800s, there was a circus train traveling through. It derailed. Supposedly, there were some animals that got loose, and supposedly a couple of those animals were werewolves. Um, the legend goes that these wolves terrorized the little town that it derailed in, killed people, killed livestock, stuff like that. So the name of this cemetery got nicknamed Werewolf Springs. And the actual name of the cemetery is Hall Springs Cemetery, but it got dubbed and nicknamed Werewolf Springs because it happened in the general area where the train derailed. So that's where we spent 90 of our time on the weekends growing up. Instead of out partying and shit, we was at the cemetery. Um, the very first EVP I ever captured was at this cemetery. I was about, I don't know, it's probably 19, 20 years old. Um, Me, and I'm sure people tuning in heard me talk about Keith. It was me and Keith and his future wife were out there. It was probably 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, walking around this cemetery, and we had a recorder. It wasn't a digital recorder. It was one that had the little bitty tapes in it. So that's kind of dating myself. This was over 20 years ago. Um, Walking through, and we're just asking your typical questions. Is there anybody here? Where are we at? Blah blah blah. I distinctly remember Keith asking, if there's anybody here, just give us some kind of sign. Just let us know you're here. So after we were done, we went back into town, and we went to downtown. We sat on this little park bench, and we're listening to this thing. And when it comes to that part, you hear Keith say, if there's anybody here, give us some kind of a sign. And clear as fucking day, it sounds like a little girl right at the mic saying good morning. And that was 20 something years ago, and I just got chills saying that out loud. Um, and at first we thought it was the lady with us. We rewound it, played it again, turned the volume all the way up, played it several times. Yeah, that's definitely not her. It sounds like a little girl saying good morning. Now,
Hmm.
was this little girl buried in the cemetery? Was she, a spirit from somewhere nearby? Have no idea. I'm sure there was probably little girls in that cemetery, but for us to capture that right after he asked to give us a sign, it was mind-boggling. And before we was able to transfer it over to a desktop computer, his girlfriend taped over everything. And yeah,
Oh
God
no.
damn it.
yeah, she had like taped over it for like a college paper or some shit. And
Oh
before we got it,
Son of a bitch.
but yeah, clear as day, she said good morning, and
Hmm.
I'll never forget it. It was wild.
How
Man.
that's crazy. How annoyed were you guys when you were listening to it and you
Dude,
hear Keith say, "Is give us a sign," and then you hear, "And then for the paper that I am about to write for college," and you're just like, "What? This
right.
ghost kid is giving us a dissertation of."
So when I found out she done that, I'd went over to his house and I was like, man, I want to hear that again. Have you got it on the desktop yet? He was like, no. He's like, dude, she recorded over it. I was like, are you serious? I was so mad. So, but it is what it is. But I know it happened, and it was clear as day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Class A.
That's crazy.
It
So
was
they're already hard to
yes,
come by.
they are. It was clear
Oh,
as day.
dang,
And
man.
anybody listening, you can actually go on our TikTok and I think our Instagram, and I posted a video going down the road to that cemetery and going around the cemetery and pointing the camera right about where we captured it at.
Mhm.
So you can kind of get a visual of the cemetery and where we captured that EVP at.
Hmm.
Man. What
Damn.
what are you guys' thoughts on like spirits, like the reason why spirits, and I want to extend it to our audience too when we open up the lines, but like spirits who attach themselves to places like cemeteries.
See, everybody always says cemeteries can't be haunted because nobody dies there. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, how can a couch be haunted? If something is attached to that item, how can they not be attached to their soulless, lifeless body?
Mm. Okay.
Or and if they're an intelligent spirit, how do we know they're not just going there to visit theirself?
And their loved
Hmm.
ones who might be popping
Right,
in, and
exactly.
they're like,
So it's
okay, well,
like
that's where they're going to be.
right.
Yeah.
So it's like
Mm.
I've always thought, a cemetery can be haunted just as easily as a house or a hospital.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, and who's
I
to
would do
say
it
before? And
just,
who's to say before that cemetery was ever there, what could have happened on that land?
that's a good point. That's a good
Hmm.
So,
point. Could have been something else entirely before
mhm,
then. Yeah.
so
What's the what's the title for the type of haunting where it's just a repeat, like the same specter just keeps walking by the
Residual.
same window?
Yeah.
A residual, is
Yeah.
that it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we're gonna kick off Dwayne, aka Snatch Twat. I'm sure this debate's gonna kick off, but I did speak with him last weekend, and him and I got into a very heated debate over this. Not
Oh.
because I disagree about cemeteries being haunted, but if we're gonna go down that road of kind of theories around all this,
Mhm.
what is more of a lifelong residual habit than your soul being in your body? Honestly, sorry, but like that's what have you had a habit of longer than any house you lived in, place you went to, traumatic of anything like that? You spent way the fuck more time in your own goddamn body.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're
Mhm.
going to believe in residual hauntings, it also makes sense, right? I would say the theories need to combine here that graveyards would be haunted because
Mm-hmm.
that's the longest habit you ever fucking had,
Right.
right? So I just throwing some crazy shit out there. I'm throwing it out there, but I think it's a damn good theory.
Are you saying we're haunting ourselves? We're
Honestly,
haunting ourselves.
honestly, if you saw how I spend my finances, yes, yes.
Closely. Sometimes I have. Uh, what if so? So you know residual hauntings, like they say like a ghost will go by a window. Maybe that's like the work that that's been put to them in the end. You know, like how we have a job, we go to a job every day, and
Mm-hmm.
we're just
Don't
like, oh,
even.
I
Are
gotta go
you
to my
talking
job.
about afterlife jobs? No.
Yes, I'm
No.
talking about
I'm not
jobs.
doing that.
I'm talking about
Okay, thanks.
monsterafterlife.com. Uh, what's the other one that career
In
something?
dead.
In
That was an
Indeed.
dead. That's a
Indeed
good
joke.
one.
Yep,
Yeah.
and it was a good one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. What do y'all think though? Seriously, what habit have you had longer?
None that I can think of.
And as
Fucking
Joey
kicking
brilliantly
ass.
pointed out,
Right.
kicking her. Ask
Longer
my
than a
mom how much I
Okay.
kicked when I was inside of her.
Right.
I've,
Like,
I've been doing
she'll
that in
tell you.
every incarnation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking necks, cashing checks.
Mhm.
That's how I was born.
Mhm. Damn straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you make
No,
a
that's a
valid
good point,
you
Gil.
make a
Yeah.
valid point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes. I
And we
contributed.
be
Yeah.
we so
I
that could
mean,
be for residual and an intelligent. Like we just get attached to things, man. We
Mhm.
get addicted to things, you know?
Mhm.
yeah,
I
people
think
could have
all
gone to
those
that
marathon. Go
that
ahead.
graveyard the whole time, like every day. It could have been like their place they go. You know, some people like going to graveyards and
Mhm.
hanging out, so maybe that became
Mhm.
the place they would go. Or maybe some people did die there, like the
Mhm.
train derailment you talked about. You know,
Mhm.
that happened. The circus train car derailment that helped name it the Werewolf Springs. And maybe the guy was sitting there and he was like, "Look, it's a wolf," and he's like, "Werewolf." He's like, "No, it's a wolf." And he's like, "No, werewolf, their wolf." You know, and it
There
just
we
kind of, yeah, it kind of
Oh.
spiraled off a
There
little
we
bit,
go.
but
Joey,
seriously,
that's in your top 10 puns right there. That was
That
good.
was that was
I
That
good.
was so
know.
That was pretty,
smooth.
It was.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
goddamn good.
yeah.
Goddamn.
It was low hanging fruit for me. I feel like, but yeah, like people could have definitely died there before then, and like or fall, like just walked into there and just fell into a grave, and they were just like, "Oops," like
Right.
tripped into a grave, and then was like, "Well, now I guess I'm gonna haunt this place." So,
Right.
Sure. Sure. And you know
mhm.
what? Nobody ever gives credit. We joke about it, but nobody ever gives credit to the ghost who's doing it just to be an asshole, just to be a prankster. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go scare the shit out of this guy in the cemetery right
Damien,
now.
is that gonna be you,
Yeah,
Damien? You're just gonna be like, "Yeah, yeah."
If we get that choice when we die, what we want to do, I'm like, leave me hanging
Mhm.
behind. I want to scare some people.
Mhm.
Cemeteries, under the bed, closets.
Right.
I'm there. I'm ready.
Mhm.
Man.
That would be
All
cool if you
right.
got the choice.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Where do you want to haunt? What's
You
what's
do.
your thing?
Right.
You know?
Oh.
Hope you get the choice. and the choice
Mhm.
to quit my afterlife job. 'Cause that
I know
was not
That's it.
exactly
happening.
who I'm haunting.
Mm. All right. Did you want to open up
Hey,
the
but
lines early, or do you want to wait? I'm doing
fuck it.
a listener submission. We can open them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You call in.
Mhm.
Y'all call in. Give us your thoughts. Do you think that ghosts would haunt cemeteries? If so, why? Why would they be attached to such a place?
Right?
And call in with them stories. I've been excited
Mhm.
about these stories. Cemeteries, tombstones, tombs.
Tombs.
Yeah,
Stones.
that's it. Stones.
Mhm.
Stone
Obelisks.
take
Haunted
theory.
scones.
Mhm.
Haunted scones.
I mean, it's
All right.
interesting because your afterlife job, you don't get PTO, but you get free health insurance, so it's kind of nice.
Oh my
Did you
goodness.
throw-
I'm so glad to be back.
Where's my cricket skill?
Shit. Do I have? How
That's
do I
probably
not
in
have
here.
the? We have to have the crickets saved. We don't have the crickets saved. God damn it. Oh wait.
What?
Oh, perfect. There it is. There's my crickets.
That sounds like our
All
ring.
right.
That's
Yep.
so weird.
Hi.
Hello. Can we get your name and where you're calling
Hello.
in from?
Yeah, my name is Kayla. I'm actually currently in Smyrna right now. Damien asked me to call and tell you guys my graveyard story.
This shit is insane,
Yeah.
guys.
Right.
I'm buckling in.
I'm
I'm
ready.
buckling
Mhm.
freaking in.
All right. Well, so you usually go and change out your family members' flowers, at least on occasion, I would assume.
Mhm.
If not reasonable, I tend to do that. So I go and replace my grandfather's flowers. Occasionally, I don't do it anymore after this, but but I used to because I was like,
No.
oh well, the weather's gonna like wear them down and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and be nice, even though I never knew the man, but I hear really good stories about him. So one day I got to the cemetery and I was getting all of my stuff ready. So my grandfather, this is relevant to the story. He has a tree that is really close by his plot, and it's a big tree, so like you could climb it if you wanted to. Well, while I was getting the flowers situated and ready to put in that little, little vase thing that they have, like I was going to dispose of the old flowers and put the new ones in. Well, I was getting all that set up, and I just, pay my respects occasionally. Well, not occasionally. Whenever I'm there, I obviously pay my respects. And I noticed at this particular time there was a young boy, and he was just chilling in the tree behind me, and I didn't think anything of it. So I was like, okay, cool. I went on about my business, and after like a minute or two, he asked me, he was like, so who are you here for? And I told him, oh, I'm just here to change out the flowers for my grandfather's grave. Simple enough, and he goes, oh, well, that's interesting. So he asked me a couple of things about my grandfather. And might I add, this guy, he looks just like me and you. He looks just like a young boy. And he's just hanging out on the tree. Well, he gets down and he asked me, do you want to see mine? And I was thrown aback and I was like, see your, and he said, come follow me. And so I'm assuming he just wants to show me his grandfather's grave. So he takes me a couple of plots like down to the end where there's like a walk path where like cars can drive and stuff around the cemetery. So it's like really close to one of those paths, and there's a little bench there, and he points down to a specific grave towards the end, and it's a 16-year-old boy. His name is Brandon, and he has a skateboard on his gravestone. Like it's one of those slab stones that go over your grave, and it has like a little seat at the bottom, like on the side of it, and it says in loving memory of Brandon. And I am thrown back, and I'm like, I turn around and I ask who's this, and he's gone. And I'm sitting here looking everywhere, and he's not there. And so that tripped me up. So obviously my ass left. I was like, no, thank you. So I left, and I have not gone back. Well, you know what's interesting? Here recently, they've cut that tree down.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's my story.
That's the ghost tree.
Yeah.
damn.
And I've looked everything up. I looked that boy up, and he looks exactly like the guy I talked to.
Ooh.
Wow.
So that's why I'm
Shit.
never gonna go back to that cemetery unless I have to. So
And
yeah,
no one blames you.
essentially no, but I don't care. It happened.
Kayla, have you been back just because you had to? Have you been back since?
No, unless one of my family, knock on wood, unless anybody passes away unexpectedly, I'm not going back to that cemetery.
Can I ask why the fear or caution with the if it was a spirit, like why? Did you get a bad feeling? Was there something
Yes.
just
Okay. So I did miss something. I'm a little nervous on the call. I did say
You're
something.
doing
So
great.
so the reason why I haven't been back is because the timing that I went there was dusk. Like it was starting to go down. The lights were going to go. I mean, not the light. The sun was going down. So I am, I just feel this weird energy at the end. This is why I hauled ass out of there. I heard voice, like I know that's going to make me sound like a schizophrenic, and I was thinking about just not saying this on here. But I was hearing these voices, and it's like, you're not safe here, leave. You're not safe here, leave.
Wow.
So I don't think I'm safe there, and I don't think I'm welcome there. So.
And see, and what's wild is I know exactly the cemetery she's talking about. My grandfather's buried there. One of my good friends' mom's buried there. I pass this cemetery every single day, and it's like looking at it. It's like it looks like a very peaceful cemetery. It's not,
and it's beautiful.
Right. It's not one of those creepy ass. It's like I'm not even going to look over there type of cemeteries. It's well kept. Big cemetery right there off the highway. Constantly it's always being mowed. It's really not, and it's one of those cemeteries where there's no headstones. Everything is a marker in the ground.
Yeah.
And so it's a nice cemetery, and that was another cemetery I didn't say we would frequent when we were teenagers, but we went there quite a few times in the middle of the night, creeping around, and it does give you that creepy feeling at night. And not just because it's a cemetery, it's just like, okay, this place is a little off at night. And yeah, it's after she told me that, I was like, damn, I know exactly what you're talking about, and now I want to go back.
Yeah, but whenever you hear the voices, you don't want to go back. I literally heard the voice, "You're not welcome here. Leave. You're not welcome here.
Wow.
You're in trouble." Like it was like this sense of danger, like this urgency. Like at the time, I was happy. I had no anxiety. I was just chilling there. And then whenever I got there, at the end of that visit, my heart was racing. I could see my heart beat out of my chest. I was panicked.
Damn.
So no way in the heck am I going back there.
Was the voice at all similar? The voice that you heard that is, kind of giving these ominous like warnings and everything. Was it similar to the voice of the boy? Was it different? Was it masculine, feminine? It was a man's voice.
Oh, it was a man's voice. Yeah, it was a deep voice too. He was like, "You need to leave now."
How did it have any sort of direction? I guess I'm trying to feel in the moment, was this a omnipotent, just kind of all the way around you kind of like, experience? Did it sound like it came from behind your back or?
No, okay, so imagine somebody like leaning in to whisper in your ear. And like you feel that you feel that wind.
Right.
You feel that wind whenever they're talking to you. That's what was happening, but it was yelling.
Oh God.
I also have one more if you guys are interested to listen.
Oh hell yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Hell
absolutely.
yeah. After that, I've already declared that last story immediately just became one of my favorite calls that's ever come in here.
It was horrifying. I don't want to do that ever again.
Yeah,
But I
just
do have
imagine how
Thank
angry
you.
they'd be if the grass wasn't kept there. You know how angry the spirits would be if they didn't keep it upkeep.
Oh, they'd probably
Right.
rip it off themselves. No, I'm just
Yeah, they would. They would.
No. So there is another cemetery that's close to where I grew up, in a little place. It's a little small town, and there's railroad track. You have to cross railroad tracks to get to it, and it is an old cemetery, and it looks pretty unkept as far as I remember. I haven't been back since, but I was forced to go there on Halloween whenever I was a kid, and and so honestly, I didn't think anything of it. I was with people who I thought were were safe. They were just trying to spook me on Halloween. In turn, I ended up spooking them. I got there and I started getting like this anxiety. Like I felt a bunch of energy around me and it was uncomfortable. And I was seeing these green figures. Like it was like almost like a neon snot kind of green. I know it sounds gross, and they were figures and they had chains on their feet. And they were just around the car and I kept looking at my aunt and I was like, hey, do you see these? Like, I'm like 6. I'm 6 or 7. I'm really young. And I'm like, do you guys see these figures around the car? They're like, do you see these men that are around the car? They're green. And like, they're kind of see-through. They're transparent. And my, my aunt's sitting there like, no, what are you talking about? And she goes, KK, you're scaring me. Like, genuinely, I was freaking her out. I was like, we need to leave now. Because like whenever they said they didn't see him, I was like, I'm not getting out of the car. They couldn't get me out of that car. If they had a forklift or something to pull me out, I wouldn't come willingly.
Right.
So I was sitting there and I was seeing these people and like her son, my aunt's son, my cousin, came up, but like there was this, like one of the green guys came up behind him and he was just chilling there and I was like, Corey, there's somebody behind you. Do you not see that guy? And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, they're looking at me like I'm crazy. And so me being the little kid with my little kid mind, I said, if you guys don't let us leave now, I'm telling my mom on you.
Which just universally is a legitimate threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much what I thought was going to be a legitimate
It's pretty
threat. So I was
solid.
like, I just felt unsafe. And I was like, I'm telling my mom, y'all took me here. Like, so that also was a standout cemetery story that I thought you guys might like. It's not near as good as the last one, but I still remember those because like
I
weird
love
green
both of
see-through
those.
dudes.
How did
Right.
that part end? Like how did they just like subside? Or
Oh no, yeah, I freaked them out by saying that there were men because there were. I'm still mad that they didn't believe me at first, but they like didn't really like that, and I think they ended up getting an eerie feeling because a child was telling them that there were some freaky ghosts going around,
Right.
like going around them. So they were like, okay, maybe we should go, and so they loaded us up and let us go back to the house.
okay.
I don't know if they told my mom or not. She will call later, but I don't exactly know. So when she calls, she'll probably say, "Oh, that was my daughter." Ask her about that and see if my aunt told her any of that. 'Cause I don't know, but I remember that like it was yesterday.
Damn.
Dude, kids
God
say the
damn.
darndest things and the creepiest
Right.
things. And they're
And they draw the
creepy
craziest
because
photos.
yes. Well, because you don't know, like, as you're listening to any child telling you, like, "Oh, I saw like a green guy and and the standing in the road." It's like, I mean, it could, like, how do I know it's not true? How do I know? Like, oh
Right.
God.
Exactly. Or then
I've
they start
got
drawing
like
some crazy photos.
yeah, dang. I loved both of those
Yeah,
stories. I loved it.
but I appreciate that. But yeah, those are my 2
Yeah.
stories, and I just wanted to share.
Thank you. They're great.
Thank you
love 'em.
so
Thank you.
much.
you,
That
Kayla.
was those are fucking awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you
Of
rock.
course. Thank you guys.
Mhm.
All right.
Well, it was
You have
good
a good
talking to you
night.
guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get on off here. You too. Goodbye.
See you later.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
Strong start. Strong start.
Fucking
Yeah.
yeah. I think Kayla just scared away every other caller. That's what just happened. That was a damn good. I'm sitting over here
No.
marking the times. We are putting those
Ugh.
out there as like that's gonna be promo audio right there. I'm telling
Right.
y'all right now.
Yeah, you
Dude,
weren't
was-
wrong, D. That was
Damn.
wild.
Oh,
Right, got another caller calling in. Hello, you are live.
well, that was creepy.
Hi. This
Mom?
is Kayla's mom, Amanda.
Oh, somebody else's
Oh.
mom. Hi.
This is the mom.
Okay.
Hi, Kayla's mom,
This
Amanda.
is Amanda who came up with this.
Hi,
this
Amanda.
Y'all
episode.
heard that whisper right at the
Kayla's mom,
beginning,
Amanda.
right?
Mhm.
We got it
Yes.
recorded. We got-
Okay.
What'd you see
Hi,
me
Amanda.
do? Yeah. Hi, Amanda.
Okay. No, her aunt didn't tell me about it, but she did. That was funny.
Okay.
Good. Okay.
Um, I have a story about the same graveyard that my daddy was in. I had went to pay my respects to him, visiting for a little bit. You know how the old saying is, curiosity kills the cat?
Right.
Mhm.
There's a mausoleum not too far from his grave. And I walked
Okay.
over there and looked through the glass, and I watched a man walk out the back glass. There was no door. He just walked straight out it. I got my car and left.
That's creepy.
Oh,
That's
so when you told me this the other day, Amanda, you didn't tell me it was at the same fucking graveyard. That mausoleum,
yeah.
that mausoleum,
That
Yeah.
laugh.
that's
Okay.
where my whew, that mausoleum is where my grandfather's at.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
didn't tell me.
I-
You didn't tell me this the other day. You just said, "Oh, I seen a guy walk through the mausoleum." You didn't say it was at that cemetery.
Is your grandfather
That's all
haunting
I
him, Damien?
did.
I don't know. How
Hey,
long
man,
ago?
what the hell's your grandfather doing?
How long ago was this, Amanda?
Oh, it's been a few years back.
Like how many?
It was here in the day.
Because he's been
2 or
gone
3.
2 or 3. Because he's been there since 2021.
Yeah.
He would be brand new there.
Hmm.
He would be like strutting his stuff in there, you know, going around just being
Right.
like, "Hey, everybody, good to see you."
Right.
Oh wow.
Well, he was this guy was dressed in dark clothes and had one of the hats. Don't know how to describe it. Almost like a.
Fedora?
It's got the round brim around it. The dark
Mm-hmm.
hats with the round brim,
Oh, like a boulder.
and he walked
Like a
straight
boulder
through that back glass.
Oh.
Yeah, kinda.
Whew.
Well, that automatically kind of dates them too.
Yeah. At
Yeah.
least you didn't just describe my grandfather, so we're good there.
yeah. Yeah.
Where
That's
is
crazy.
Damien?
Oh man. Wow.
That's a crazy story.
So that's 2
Yeah.
experiences
Yeah.
at that same cemetery.
That is one heck of a haunted cemetery.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I heard him got in my car and left because I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah.
Curiosity piqued, curiosity gone. Bye.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You are the person in horror movies that survives.
Right.
That's what that tells me. You're the one with the
Right.
common enough damn sense to be like, you're sitting there, you're lying in bed, you just got cozy, and you hear a loud crash, and you're like, well, it's not inside the house, and you just go back to sleep. You are smart. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. I don't go hunting it down. No.
Right.
There we go. There we go.
Hmm.
Damn. So
Unless
have you?
it's inside the house,
Mhm.
we're not going to go hunt it down.
Hmm.
Right.
See, I'm
But yeah.
with you. I'm with you in some respect, but with one large caveat, which is If I hear a loud noise in the house and like I have two cats, and if I'm like, oh, it's one of the cats, and then I look over and I realize that they're both next to me. Well, that's what I got a Second Amendment for. So I'm just like, no, I've worked hard enough in life. You can come to me. All right. I'm not going out to explore. You come to me. Okay. I'm going out lazy. That's my take on it.
Well, I take my
Uh,
Second Amendment with me.
There we go.
There you
There
go.
we go. I
If
like
I
her.
know that, if I know that my daughter's either not home or asleep, and my mom's asleep, my
Mhm.
Second Amendment's going with me. I'm gonna go hunt
Mm.
Mhm.
if it's in the house.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
No.
Outside the
ghosts
house,
getting
Oh,
not
let
so
in.
yeah.
much. They can come in.
Yep.
Have you?
But
Do you
yeah,
have any? Do you have any thoughts or like theories around this experience? Like, I mean, this obviously it's an experience that you had. You've had some time to kind of gnaw on it. You know, what are some theories that you've kind of developed over the years around all this?
I guess it's where I'm kind of open to it.
Okay.
And maybe it was because I played with the Ouija board when I was younger and
Mm.
didn't properly close it, maybe. I don't know. But I've always seen stuff or heard stuff. Like when Kayla was a baby, I heard my daddy call my name, and he had been dead since I was 16. He hollered
Mm.
Amanda and woke me out of a dead sleep.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dang.
Was there anything wrong?
So I've
Was he trying to
always
get your
open to it.
attention?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't find anything wrong because I thought, well, maybe my nephew was watching a video, one of the home videos that we
Mhm.
had with my dad on it. He was sound asleep and wasn't nothing playing on his TV.
Huh.
So I don't know why he screamed for me. But I got up and I walked around the house. Wasn't nothing wrong, so I went back to bed.
Mm.
But
Damn.
yeah,
Dang.
it's
That
crazy.
is a lot.
Just like
That
with
is
the
a
stuff
lot.
that happens here at this house.
Mhm.
Hearing where?
And there's like the stuff that happens here at the house. And my
Oh,
brother lived at one point three roads over,
Mm-hmm.
and his house was haunted. I seen a dude hanging from the rafters at his house in
Oh.
1800s class. So
Oh.
I've always seen it.
Yeah.
I choose to ignore it sometimes, but I've always saw it.
Right.
Mm. Yeah, she's
Yeah, you
sensitive.
kind of have to.
Mhm.
You kind of have to get along with the living while you're seeing the dead, I guess.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
Damn.
So when I seen dude walk out that back glass, I was like, yeah, it's time to go.
Oh. Yeah.
I love
Smart
your
move.
attitude.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just
Yeah.
glad he walked out the back glass
And not
Mhm.
towards you.
instead of the glass where I was standing.
Mhm.
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah.
that would have been a whole different story.
Oh yeah.
sure,
Have it
for
walk
sure.
through you or something. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, that would have been grounds for paramedics to
Mhm.
be called.
Yeah, yeah.
God damn.
But yeah,
Yeah. Thank you for that story. That is crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that one's pretty intense.
you're welcome.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
y'all have a good rest of y'all's night. I want to go back
Thank
to
you.
watching y'all.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
Amanda.
you,
Awesome.
Amanda.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank
Don't be
you,
a
All right.
stranger.
Amanda.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a good
Alrighty.
night.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
Dang.
Damn.
Mhm.
Another one. Another
This is
great
some-
story.
Some
This
great
is just-
stories tonight.
Yep. Killing it. It's doing
Yeah, so
great.
she didn't. Yeah, she failed to tell me it was at the same cemetery.
There's something going
No
on
wonder
there,
you
man.
got into shit, man. Like you got yourself a damn Skinwalker Rancho cemeteries over there. What the fuck?
Mhm.
Right?
Like,
D-Booze, you're gonna have to take me there one day we can go there and just
Yeah.
like chill
Yeah.
around, and then
Right.
Gil will drive up, and we'll all go.
Hell yeah. Like I said,
And they
it's just
just opened up a single lane from Asheville to Tennessee now, so I could actually get there.
Ooh.
I did see
Yeah.
that a couple of days ago that they're starting to
Yes.
get it put back together. So
We've
We are
got a
connected
road
again.
again.
Yeah, we're
Hell yeah.
connected.
Ha.
We'll FaceTime K-Booze, and she can be there with us while we're
Hell yeah.
all going through.
Who's that little boy that's
Yes,
standing
please.
behind you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Craig. I just went.
That's Craig. We just met him. Don't worry about him.
He's just like, yeah, he does that. Don't worry about. I'm just oblivious.
Why is he floating? I don't know.
Right.
He likes to
D-Booze
do
is
that.
D-Booze is chasing him with equipment, and I'm just like, oh, da da da. Joey's just crying.
Mhm.
Totally normal.
Oh man.
Make a guess as to who this might be.
Hello,
But
hello.
I gotta ask,
Hello.
can we get your name and where you're calling from?
Dwayne Zazeski, Puyallup,
He
Washington.
knew it.
There.
Snatch twat
it
himself.
is.
I've been excited. You've had me heated for over a week, my man.
Mhm.
Oh, don't let me heat you up. Just let me soothe you.
Mm.
Well, welcome.
Welcome.
Hello,
The
hello.
floor is yours.
Yeah,
Am I live right now?
You
you
are.
are live right
Yes,
now.
sir.
Well, hey,
If
look,
we're not, then well, shit.
look. The only reason I'm calling in is just to tell you guys how awesome you are. I got nothing for you.
Aw.
I mean, I've got everything and nothing for you. Gil, I've
Aw.
talked to you. Kristen, I've talked to you. You guys are all freaking awesome. And Kristen,
Thank you.
damn, what are the odds that you are working the beast the same way I am
I
tonight?
know.
That blows my mind.
Synchronicity, like you said. Synchronicity, man.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Mhm.
you guys are all awesome. I got nothing other than a lot of creepy stuff. Gil, did you get those pictures I sent you?
Yeah, we talked about him on the phone, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Were there more?
All
Were
right.
there
Well,
more?
I
There might have been
forgot.
more. I might have missed some. Did I miss some?
Anyway,
I might have missed some.
I only call in to tell everybody else that's in the chat that just you guys are freaking awesome.
Aw. Thank
We
you, but
Okay,
now
know that, know
Mhm.
that, love that, accept that. You guys are absolutely, true to spec and awesome podcast, man. I love it, dude. My hoodie, love it. Everybody out there, get one. They are top notch. They are quality. Love it.
Hell yeah.
Everybody loves it. I've sent so many people to you guys
Mm.
for this hoodie. I mean, I just get random guys. Little 14-year-old guys look at me and say, "Dude, love that shirt," and I'm like, "Well, hey,
Hell yeah.
woo."
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
here you go. Here's where to get one. They have no clue, but they love it. The logo, everything is just awesome. So I
Heck
just
yeah.
want you
Very
guys
cool.
to know that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
you for
you.
that.
Yep.
Thank you,
We're
Dwayne.
here for
Now-
you, Dwayne.
Dwayne, with
No.
all love, and you and I
No,
have
no,
chatted
no,
for
no, no.
10, 15 hours at a time at this point. I'm gonna have
Right?
to
No,
I'm
you
gonna
guys
have to
ain't
poke
here
the
for me.
bear.
I'm here for you.
Ah,
I'm here
I'm
for
gonna
you,
have to poke the
and
bear.
I'm here to
uh-oh.
what? Oh, yeah, well,
I gotta poke the bear. You had some beliefs around haunted cemeteries, and exact counter to mine. You and I, we had a nice heated topic. I think you and I both drank until we were 1, 2, 3 sheets to the wind, just chatting and going back and forth. I'm not letting you off the line until you
it
kind
was
of
good
deliver
chat,
some of
though.
your haunted theories here. Oh, it's always a fantastic chat with you, man. But you had
No, I
you had
have
some
theories,
interesting
and
points to make.
That's
Would you mind sharing them?
and you know what? That
Hmm.
that is all we have is theory. We have the. I've said this
course.
a million times. You know, I'm a Bigfoot guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always said, show me the ghost in your box, and I will show you the Bigfoot in my garage. We're all on
Yeah.
we're all on steady ground. We're all on the same ground. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I can't disrespect what you do, nor can you disrespect
No.
what I believe.
Mhm.
But
You know what I mean? I've
you
seen
had
what
some
I've
really
seen.
good points that I think folks should hear. You're always a respectful man, but I want to hear these points. I've been waiting. You had me keyed up, just like, "Grr," to, like ready to go for like a week now, bro. You can't let me down here. I've been like training.
Okay,
There's been
what do you want
montage
to hear?
music playing in the
Gil, you're awesome.
background. Come on. Come on.
Gil, you're awesome.
Thank you, brother.
What do you
Let's hear
want
some
from
of
me
those.
right now? I mean, you have me. You have my platform.
All right, hell yeah. Oh, I love this guy. Well, I think I would love to hear, and I think it would be beneficial to share, um, your theories about why cemeteries wouldn't be haunted, if I could be so
Because
presumptuous.
I'm sorry to jump ahead so quick because I do not. I have no idea why a body would or a spirit would follow itself to its ultimate resting place. I would think that a spirit, once it dies, would. Now, again, I have no thing on this. I don't know what the proper term is, but I would think a spirit would stay where it's at. I don't know why it would follow its freaking carcass to 6 foot underground and hang there. That's not where I'd want to be. I want to go, pardon my language, F with some people that I hated in life, and I would want to totally help people I loved in life. That's what I would do as a spirit. I would. The last thing on my mind would be, yeah, I'm just gonna go hang with my body in this half-acre shithole burial ground and just hover over my body. I can't get my brain around that. There are no spirits in graveyards. That's just bodies. The spirit has moved on.
But who's
Not to
say
that there aren't a couple of Trumpy-ish, self-centered, egotistical sons of bitches that refuse to accept that they're dead and would hang there. I'm down with that, but I don't think that's everybody. I think once you die, you are a free spirit and you are free to go and do whatever you want. Yes, there are narcissistic freaking ghosts. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I
Sure.
can see where you're going with that. It does kind of
I
go along.
apologize if any of that is negative or political. It's not where I want to go.
No.
It's just one man's opinion, and I'm a stupid man.
No.
Far from
If our
it, Dwayne.
skin was thin, we wouldn't be taking live calls. Joey, what were you gonna say, Bob?
100%. That kind of rubs up against my idea of the work after life. That you get put into a job and they're like, all right, well, what would you like to do? And he's like, I would really like to stay around this house that I really like. Too bad you're going to the graveyard next. And then he's like, all right, well, I would really like to I really love hanging out and riding bikes. And then someone's like, too bad you're going to the same graveyard. Good luck. Bye. And then it goes up. That kind of goes up against, my made up theory. This is my made up theory. I just thought of this like on this call. So, but yours makes a lot of sense that, if you're having the choice at the end of it, most people would be like, nah, I'm good. I'm not going to that graveyard. I'd rather stay with something I like. This house I lived in for 20 years,
I do not mean to cut you off, but we have all heard the phrase, whether it be in life or whether it be in afterlife, we have all heard the phrase free spirit. Why would a free spirit lock itself into a freaking graveyard? Dude, I'm out. I am blessing people that I love like all you all. I'm going to come back and do whatever I can as a free spirit to make
Hmm.
your guys' lives while you're alive the best I can.
We fucking love you.
I
man.
mean, why would I want to hang out and just loiter around a dead body 6 feet in the ground? Now, Gil, I think we talked about this. What about? Okay, I'm gonna let you
miss my
run with
fucking
this
mouth.
one. We did talk about cremation. What about those?
Yes,
Where do
you had
they
an
go,
excellent
and
point
what do
about
they do?
cremation. Sorry.
Right? Now, we talked about this. I know me and you had a conversation, but I'd like to hear your opinion on this show about that. Because that kind of throws me sideways.
It was a fucking incredible point that you made about cremation. I have no comeback, no answers, not even on the theoretical level of shit that I understand around folks' general beliefs and dispositions and trying to play around with that, right? Not even outside of my wheelhouse. And um your main point, please hop in, correct me if I'm wrong, was that if ghosts hang out around their dead bodies, right? Then why the hell hasn't cremation just made the entire atmosphere haunted?
Right? We
Because
are
cremation,
all
the
sucking up
process spreads
ghosts
it all out.
and
The
atmosphere and everything.
essence. Yeah. Maybe, and this is fucked up on so many levels. The only quick counter, and this is not as significant as that point that you made, the only quick counter I can come up with is maybe cremation destroys the soul. Ain't that a fucking depressing thought?
Mm.
You know, that is, I'll give you that. That could be.
A lot of
And then
Mhm.
then let's go to the rivers in India where they burn them and throw them in the river. Are people eating them, drinking them?
Well, all our water is dinosaur pee.
Does half of them go in the atmosphere and the other half go in the river? How does this work? I mean, this is complex. I mean, I know neither one of us have an answer on this, but
Right.
good Lord, it gets complex.
Mm-hmm.
I will not to bogart this or anything, but I will say that in a lot of, and this is so general for such a full-on fucking continent to say, but I'll say in a lot of traditional Buddhist practices, right? Um, from the point of death to the point of, uh, I would say, processing of the body, whatever that looks like, whether it's cremation, burial, pick your flavor from there. Um, there's a 7-week period where it's believed, and this is very generalized, Buddhism, very large practice. So, like, please don't view this as
Right.
like a catch-all. But it has been for a very long time believed that the spirit stays in the soul for 7 weeks, for 49 days after death. And
We do
so
know for a fact
a shit ton of cultures do not do a goddamn thing to the body besides mourn and respect and acknowledge it for 7 weeks, for 49 days, right? And they let the consciousness, the spirit, review its own life and have its own whole process before anything happens. After that 7 weeks, the body is or the soul is claimed to have left the body because it's gone through its review process, gone on to do whatever the hell it wants to do or needs to do or is stuck doing. And the body itself has just been left as a vessel, as an empty shell, right? So if we want to get into the process around like cremation and stuff, right? This is where my argument kind of comes in is maybe we should wait a little bit.
no, there's no argument.
You know?
I will never argue with you. I will only agree or
Aw.
I will only agree with you because we will always end up on common ground. I
Hell yeah.
am not a disagreement person.
Aw.
Yeah.
But with that said, do we both agree? All you guys on the panel, Kristen, everybody here, Joey, all you guys.
Mm-hmm.
We all agree that energy cannot be created or dismantled or disillusioned. So the energy,
Yes.
and we could call it a soul, we can call it whatever we want. What it has to go somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like a lot of people agree, or a lot of people believe in reincarnation. If you come back as a freaking slug, what the hell do you have to do to come back as a person? Yeah, I find that hard to, my mind find that hard to wrap around. What if
Right.
you come back as a worm? What do you got to do? Do you have to catch a fish to come back as a person? What do you got to do to come back to what you were? And, and again, I'm not judging anybody's beliefs, but reincarnation, I know, is a huge one. What the heck? If I die and I become a slug, what the frick do I got to do to come back as a human or a better human and make things better for humans? Do I have to feed a bird, a raven, a bird that can talk, an eagle? What do I got to do? I mean, it gets deep, and I'm sorry, guys. My voice is breaking up a little bit here. My bad. But I mean, you guys kind of following. I'm just a guy that wants answers. I don't have the answers. I have no freaking clue. I'm a dummy like every single person on this planet. They ain't one month. They ain't one. Look, I'm gonna say it. Bleep this. They ain't one motherfucker on this planet that has the answers. We have opinions, speculation, and thought of how shit works. And I'm kind of done there.
Okay.
Your beliefs are your beliefs. I do not shun anybody's beliefs. Again, Christianity, Catholicism, reincarnation, yada yada. I can't say any of those are wrong. I can't say they're right. I know what I feel in my heart, and I can't say you're wrong because I can't say I'm right. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Agreed.
It's what we believe, and if it works for you, it works for me. I can't say you're wrong, and I can't say you're right. And if on the other side you can say that I'm wrong, I think you're wrong because you don't know. We are, believe me when I say this, that we are all in line, and we will find out sooner than we want to. We will have the answer sooner than we want to know. Right?
Yeah.
We are going
We
to
all
find
find
out.
out at some point. Yep.
Right? I mean, my God, I am 58 years old. I have, at best, the rest of my life is 20 years of sickness and death. I will find out the answer. I'm not rushing to find out, but I will find out eventually.
Right.
Is that a fair statement?
Oh yeah.
Love it. Love it, man.
And believe me, you guys, I think all you guys are all young bucks, and you're all beautiful people. You're way behind me. So make your investments now. Do what you got to do now, because you will find out. I mean, we all will find out in the end what the truth is and what it isn't. My suggestion to everybody right now is live your life, because it's the only one you get. This is your one go round. Make the best of it. Make your best friends. You guys are all just beautiful people. I cherish knowing and loving you.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Know
Thank you,
that,
brother.
love that,
Thank you
do
so
that.
much.
Don't worry about yourself. Worry about other people. Help other people. I don't know. I'm going on a tangent here. My bad. I'm sorry. Kristen, Joey, Gil, all you guys. I mean, you do this. This gives me a purpose. I love this. If you guys didn't do this right now, I would be probably drinking a beer or just, falling on my ass or going to sleep.
Yeah.
No,
Well, we're glad we can
Well, we're
keep
glad
you
you're
up a
here.
little bit
funny.
longer, my man.
We're glad you're here.
I know it's funny,
Yes,
but it's a
sir.
real thing. You guys give me a purpose. I'm sitting here yakking with actual real people, and it's awesome. It's fun. I love it. You give us a purpose. Believe me, I grew up before there was, before the term computer. You know what I mean? It was not a thing. Now it gives us a forum to all. Look, I'm sitting here watching you guys on my TV right now, and we're all talking. I mean, it's an
Thank you,
awesome
brother.
thing to me. It blows my mind.
Yep.
If
Thank
y'all,
you, Dwayne. That's
again,
amazing.
yeah,
sorry to rant,
thank you.
but
No,
you,
you're good.
you guys are all
Always good.
beautiful.
We
I
appreciate you.
I
consider
asked
you
you
all
to
friends.
rant.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, but we appreciate you, Dwayne. You know that,
We do, Dwayne.
man.
Mhm.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you
Dwayne,
again.
you're always the best,
Thank you
bud.
so much.
Yeah, man.
Well, I will
Rock.
let
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys go on that. I know I burned up a whole lot of time here. My bad.
It
You
was
good,
never
man.
a waste. It was great.
Same time next month.
Same time next
Mhm.
month.
Oh, are we going with the monthly thing? I don't have that thing going on, but I will see you
Well,
next month.
we'll let you know.
We'll let you know.
All right, brother. You have a
Later,
great
man.
night,
All
my
right,
man.
man.
next
You take
period.
care.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Have a
Mhm.
good
All right,
night.
brother.
Dwayne.
Have a good night.
We
Hell yeah.
truly are going to live around and find out. Laugho, as they say.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Let me get
When
this
I-
text thrown
I-
up here.
I do have a
Mhm.
question for you guys.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so I keep hammering on this job after death thing. This in dead
I
that
wish you
Gil.
wouldn't.
You know,
You're gonna give the afterlife
What
ideas.
would be your dream job? What would be your dream job? And then what would be your hell job? What would be your hell job? And if anybody too on the phone calls wants to answer these questions, you can answer them too. Call in and
They're
answer.
good questions.
But yeah, what would be your dream job after death? And what would be your job that you're just like I'm in hell right now. I can't do this.
Well, I know my dream job. Like is are we going with like ghost jobs or haunting places? They just have to haunt a place.
I guess so, yeah, because you can't really do anything physical, right? So you can't and dead is the best one. You can't do anything physical, right? So it
Oh,
would
you
be
asked my dream job, so I said.
yeah, in dead. Gil is the one that's helping you find your dream job.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
he
seen what he did.
Gil is running in dead.
Yeah.
he puts the Gil in spectrogilphilia. No, that didn't work as well as I planned it out in my head.
No, I thought that was going to a
Spectrophilia.
place that would get me some
Spectrophilia.
lawyers
Yeah.
knocking at the door. Where are you
No.
going with this, Christy?
Oh,
No,
shit.
I'm not that smart, obviously.
Oh
am I?
no.
Well, I know my dream job would I would haunt a theater. I would haunt literally any like repertory theater. That I think that would be cool. I don't know about a hell job. I'll have to think about it. I've done some
Yeah.
pretty shitty stuff in my life. I would rather not repeat.
Who hasn't?
Hmm.
Come on.
I don't know.
I was the chat around reincarnation, I think, is fascinating, and it honestly made me believe that maybe being human is the first step, and that it's required you go onto something like a slug or like this or like that, because one of the largest in terms of living populations of things, ants, they got every other population of everything outnumbered quadrillion fold. So if souls are being popped into things regularly, it would imply that there needs to be a vessel that keeps multiplying on a larger and larger in scale to hold all of the massive amount of souls. So maybe learning to serve is the last thing we need. I don't know what the fuck that means. I just hope that an incredible gay or lesbian couple adopts me as a cat in my next life. That's honestly my number one fucking hope. Like, y'all. I'm like,
Dream-
that's a
dream
great
job.
life. That's
Dream
a
job.
fucking great life right there. I know
Mhm.
I didn't fuck up if I'm just like lay in the sun. Like,
Mhm.
yes, that's where I'm
Oh.
at. But
I
I
think
don't know.
I would be. I'd kind of want to be like Beetlejuice and be a ghost for hire.
Yes, a mercenary ghost.
So
I'm
they
here
they could
for it.
they could summon D Juice and
Mm.
Bee juice. Bee juice.
and just get me to hunt the hell out of some people they don't like. So
Yeah.
Nice.
I like it.
and yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what
fan.
I'd want to do.
I'm a fan.
All right.
Yeah.
So do we
Okay.
want to go to some listener submissions in the old email?
Sure.
Mhm.
I am so curious about this, Mr. Fedora's submission.
Yes.
I'd really like to
Let me
see
get
that.
that.
If you could cue that bad boy up.
Let me get
I
that.
think I
And
saw
you know
Fedora
what?
in
Just
chat
final.
too.
Oh,
was-
is Gregory
Yes,
here?
Fedora.
He was
Was
in the
in the
chat
chat.
earlier. I don't know if
Oh,
he's still
Mhm.
did he
here, but
leave?
he was in earlier.
Say hi. Say hi, Mr. Fedora, if you are still here. But
I've missed the fedora. I will say, because I'm looking at the video right now, one of the most stylish submissions we've ever received. This is a video
Ooh.
submission.
It
Y'all
is.
are in
Ooh.
for a optical treat. All right. That's not. I'm not even being sarcastic or a dick. I know my tone can come across the way. I'm just saying. Like I looked at it, I was like, I like your style. Like I legitimately am like, damn, yeah, okay.
he
I
does
see
he
where
does
you're
good
going.
work. He does good work.
Uh,
He's got a great podcast
With a
too.
name like Fedora,
Right.
Wait, is he wearing a
stylish
fedora
as fuck.
He does, yeah.
in the
Ironically,
video?
Sometimes, yeah.
iron-
In the video?
Ironically,
Oh.
not. No,
Oh.
but
I was gonna
great
go get my
question.
fedora. So
I will be there. Joanne,
Are you
right? Canvas. Oh no, moment. I'm figuring out how to share the screen
Uh-oh.
in a good way right now. Give me just a moment. I'm
Okay.
facing
While you're doing that,
technical
I'm gonna
difficulties.
squeeze in one final thought on the reincarnation thing.
Mhm.
Whether you come back as a human, whether you come back as a slug, a little black cat for a gay couple, it doesn't matter because we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. Rest in
Mm.
peace, Bill Hicks.
That's
Bill
good.
Hicks was
Great
my
thought.
man. It was deep.
Stuff.
It's deep.
It was.
Yeah,
It was.
great
Deep
thought.
for a comedian.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna have to ask to do something. It's gonna be slightly annoying, but because of the way I have to share this,
Very
I
annoying.
need all the hosts to mute their microphones. Wow, not just leave, Joey.
Bye,
To mute
Joey.
them.
I was.
I need
was
all the
curious.
hosts.
So quick.
I need finally. No, but I need all the hosts to mute their microphones once I click the screen share, or else we'll have all sorts of issues. So,
Okay.
if y'all are ready for that, when I pull this up, you'll figure out when. You're smart enough. Y'all are some goddamn smart cookies, if you ask me.
We are on our first go around, so. Oh, the infinity screen.
Joey, shut up. Love you. Mm. Y'all
I
not
didn't
able to
hear
hear that screen
nothing.
share?
Pardon the
No?
technical difficulties. No, we
Were
could
you
not
the
hear
only
you.
one able to
Yes.
hear it?
Heard 100%. But I will. Y'all give me one moment. Do what y'all can do and stall
Hey.
for a second.
I got
Yeah.
a listener submission here. Should we get into it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is called The Graveyard, and it is by Carolyn. Hey, I'm Carolyn. I'm 42 now, but this happened 21 years ago, back in March of 2004. I was in college, busting my ass trying to get my degree, and I had this bright idea to write my research paper on old graveyards. Thought it would be spooky but fun, something different. Turns out it was the worst fucking decision I ever made. I picked a graveyard not too far from town, one of those really old ones with lopsided tombstones and iron gates that had long since rusted. It was late, probably close to midnight, but I wasn't worried. I had a thermos of coffee, my notebook, and a flashlight that I thought was reliable. A low fog had started rolling in, clinging to the ground and making everything look even creepier. I was about halfway through sketching a grave marker when the air around me shifted. You ever feel like that? You ever feel that? Like suddenly it's too quiet?
Mhm.
The bugs stopped chirping, the wind died, and even my own breathing felt too damn loud. Then came the footsteps, slow, shuffling, just beyond the nearest row of graves. I swallowed hard and aimed my flashlight. Hello? My voice cracked. Great. I sounded like every dumbass in a horror movie right before they get axed. No answer. I took a step forward, trying to convince myself it was a stray dog or something. But as soon as my foot hit the ground, the sound stopped. Dead silence. My gut told me to fucking run, but my stubborn ass stayed put. I panned the flashlight around, and that's when I saw him. A man, or at least the shape of one, standing near a tall, moss-covered headstone. The same fucking tombstone I had just been sketching. Just staring at me. No features, no movement, just a fucking shadow that shouldn't have been there. I whispered, "Nope," grabbed my stuff, and turned on my heel. I had barely taken a step when something brushed the back of my neck. Not the wind, not a bug, fingers. Cold, dry fingers. I screamed and bolted, damn near tripping over my own feet as I ran for my car. I didn't stop, didn't breathe, just yanked open the door, dove in, and locked it. My hands were shaking so bad, I nearly snapped the key off in the ignition. But when I finally got the car started, I couldn't help myself. I looked up, and there he was. Standing by that same fucking tombstone, barely visible now as the fog thickened around him. I watched, heart hammering in my chest, as his figure slowly faded into the fog, like he had never been there at all. I peeled out of there so fast I almost wrecked into a ditch. Didn't stop until I was back at my dorm, panting like I'd run a marathon. I never finished that research paper. I didn't even go back for my damn thermos. And to this day, I still don't know what the hell I saw that night. But I do know one thing. I'll never set foot in that graveyard again.
A lot of people not wanting to go back to those graveyards. It's like,
I don't
nope.
blame them.
Best
Yeah.
reaction. Nope.
That's a nope sandwich right there. That was fucking good. That was really good. Also, Christian, God, I missed you narrating stories. You were so
Right.
fucking good at it.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
so good.
I had my headphones in while I was running around getting this shit figured out. But I heard everything. That was so damn.
That was a great story. Thank you so much,
Cold.
Carolyn.
Dry
Thank you,
That was
Carolyn.
intense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Up against your neck. And it's kind of an unmistakable feeling.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
feel
Yeah.
like, you know, the wind, you know, a little bug, doodle-doodle, but like
Mhm.
fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
I think that would
Thank you.
cause me to piss myself more than actually seeing a figure.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
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 Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they can
Yeah.
touch
Yeah.
you.
I know,
Right.
Yeah.
We all just unlocked a new fear. We were just like
Yeah.
ashy fingers. Honestly, biggest fear we
You've never been
Speak-
in all of your your ghostly experiences, do you've never actually been touched by something?
Not to that nature. I've
Mm-hmm.
had something tug on the back of my shirt before,
Mm-hmm.
and there was absolutely nothing fucking behind me. Um, that was pretty intense. Like I jumped and there's like nothing behind me. Um, obviously, when I got scratched, something had to somehow touch me,
Mm-hmm.
True.
but I didn't feel it in the moment. I just felt my neck burning like after the fact.
Right.
And then, of course, there's those random what you think are cold chills. Hell, could be something just brushing up against you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, the
Yeah.
pulling of the shirt, I remember that distinctly. So it tugged on like the back part of my shirt up near the collar.
I'm bummed. So like I before I share this video, which I should be able to share it with audio now. But I back in my train hopping days, which I
Mhm.
believe everybody here, all the hosts know about. I don't know if everybody listening knows about it, but I spent about a year-ish, 2 years, hopping trains around the country.
Mhm.
I spent a solid week and a half sleeping. All right, backstory, tiny bit. When you're hopping trains, it makes more sense to hop on the train when it's not in the rail yard. Because in the rail yard, there's shit tons of security. It's obviously very dangerous to be running across multiple lines, hopping around, trying to avoid workers, all that shit. Rail yards are not everywhere, but a lot of times they'll be in these little in between points. They're called crew changes, where trains will side. There'll be a split rail. It'll pull over to the side in the middle of fucking nowhere, and it allows for them to park and basically to change crews from the train, right outside of a rail yard. Um, in New Orleans, there's a spot where trains side where there's a crew change, and it's in a cemetery. It's a very beautiful cemetery. It's a New Orleans cemetery. They're known worldwide as being
Mhm.
beautiful fucking cemeteries.
Right.
And not always easy to hop a train during the middle of the day, especially in such a public place as that. So what happened is, a friend of mine, a travel buddy of mine, and we spent a solid week and a half sleeping in a New Orleans cemetery next to a train. Like the train tracks went through the literal middle of the cemetery. Like you would be driving in the cemetery on the tiny, 1-lane roads, and it would go underneath a railroad like overpass. Like you would go underneath, like it cuts right through. It's that old world kind of. They're like, we got to
Right.
develop with what we got. Um, we spent a solid week and a half every night camping and sleeping in a fucking cemetery. Not a goddamn experience. Nothing. Nothing at all. I slept on top of graves for a fucking week and a half. Nothing happened. Nothing. Nothing at all. Eventually hopped the train out of there, and then we got screwed when we got to Shreveport, but everybody does in Shreveport. Yeah. So not a goddamn thing happened, and I was in notoriously one of the most haunted cemeteries in the goddamn world.
Mhm.
Nothing. I was just a Benadryl to paranormal activity out there. That's what I was.
Yeah.
Like, not a goddamn. I do
Wow.
have to ask. My sister brought this up the other day, and I'm sorry I have to bring this up so quick because I keep fucking forgetting. Was anybody else raised with a very strict belief that you never step over top of a grave? Like you just that is a fucking no. You never
Right.
do that.
Like you don't walk
This
over a grave.
Damien. Yeah. It looks like Joey and Kristen, y'all. That was
And
hammered
like
into my sister and
and
I's
like
head growing
and
up.
like
Was
if
like
you
that is the most disrespectful thing you
right
can do
and
is
if you
just step on a
do
grave.
and if you do like apologize to them and stuff like
You
I'm
apologize.
right. I'm sorry for stepping on you. I didn't mean to. Yeah.
Where the hell did
Still,
this come from?
I'm not
still
apologizing.
to this day, when I'm in a cemetery, I try to walk in between graves or right
Yes.
behind the back of the headstones. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Oops.
that was like maybe quite literally beaten into me with a switch. Like that was some very strict shit in my family. It was like
Right.
obviously you never spit, but like you never walk over top of. You don't just blindly walk through a graveyard. You have to avoid
Mhm.
stepping on top of graves. It's like
Right.
horribly disrespectful. But
Yeah.
anyway, anybody either listening in the future or listening now, was that something you were brought up with knowing? Because I've noticed it's like a weird split. I don't know if it's regional. I don't know if it's cultural. Like, I don't know where it's coming from. But Damien, it seems like your parents beat that shit into you too. It was like, no, you get your ass over here. You step between. Like, it's some serious shit in the
Right.
families where that's a
Yeah.
belief.
That sounds like Appalachian, like them old
Yeah.
country like
Right.
kind of things you tell your kids. So like, always sweep your porch at dusk or
Yeah.
whatever, because
Yeah.
dead things. I don't
Right.
know.
Always
Yeah,
sweep your porch at midnight.
there's a sweeping a
Sweeping the new
porch
day.
thing. There is
Sweeping the
one.
new
This is why
day.
Joey's neighbors never last. They're just like,
You never
They do
sweep
not
your
like me.
porch on New Year's Eve.
everyone knows.
Always on
this.
New Year's Day. That her story did unlock a new fear for me though. Before we get into the next video, and
Please.
when she said that, like she thought that it was her gonna be axed, and I just imagine turning around and a ghost looking at me with just a bunch of Axe body spray spraying me down in my face, and I was like, damn, that's actually a fear right now. It's
Son
just to
of a
be
man.
sprayed down
Oh.
by Axe body spray.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
Um,
just
But then
reliving
you'd
talk
get
high
all
about-
the
school.
ghosts.
That's
Then
just-
you'd get all the
Yeah.
ghost women, like
Right.
Yeah.
just like running at you like this through the graveyard.
Which then
Talk
is
about an axe
it-
fearful.
murderer, Yeah.
New
talk about
fear
an axe
unlocked.
murderer.
Jaws
Yeah.
falling off as they run.
Yeah.
Hello.
I've
The
been
axe
seen you
murderers
around
out there.
here before. Like,
Mhm.
oh dear lord. All right. Well,
All
I
right.
think I got it queued up to share
Try
Gregory
it.
Fedoris.
Do you
Mhm.
need us to mute?
No, I think
Okay.
we should be good. We should be Q-chi now. All right. Let me know if the audio gets fudged up. I think we'll be good. Why does it say no? Wait, oh, there we go.
It was just off.
I'm just gonna turn it up full blast. Good luck.
There it is.
Hey, Gregory Fedora here. I'm really excited to tell my story on beers, booze, and boogeymen. So, this took place in Gettysburg probably about 15 years ago. I was there. I'd gotten a new camera, and I just went up to Gettysburg because it's just a really cool, somber area, but there's like a lot of architecture and monuments, and I've taken photos and whatnot. And I was in the Evergreen Cemetery area. And I was just doing like some aperture settings and, getting focal length kind of shots and just, doing that kind of thing. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw two men who were dressed up in Union uniforms. And I just sort of saw them, and they're probably about like a football field away. They're like a good distance. And I was like, oh, they're going to do some kind of reenactment. And I thought, that's cool. So I like gathered my stuff, and I saw the guys, and they were walking, and they had started walking, and I got all my stuff turned, and I didn't see them, but I ran over to where they were, and I'm like looking around, and there's like nobody. And this was about like 7:30 in the evening. It's in the summer, so sun was still up. It was kind of setting, and I just like looked around, and I saw nobody. And I was like, well, dang, man, they must have booked it. And so I started walking back to my area and where my car was, and which was parked over by the visiting center area. And I walked over and I saw a person there. I was like, hey, where's the reenactment stuff going on today? And the guy's like, there's no reenactment stuff today. I said, I saw some guys dressed up in uniform. And he's like, where? And I said, well, in the Evergreen Cemetery. And he was just like, oh, that happens. And that was it.
Mm.
Gettysburg's notoriously haunted too.
It is.
That
Yep,
is
yep.
Yeah.
supremely haunted.
Like there's so many, stories of seeing soldiers walking through that area. It's up here on the old bucket list.
Mhm.
I
I've walked that.
immediately when he got to that point where I was like, oh, you got to have one of those experiences. Like that's like a whole fucking genre
Right.
of haunted experiences, is like the mass troop movements, and like, you know what I'm
Mhm.
and everybody has that same take where they're like, oh, they're about to do a reenactment. Like that is like a fucking subgenre of hauntings,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mhm.
Right.
And no, Air Force One, I refuse spell check. But no, that was a damn good story, dude. I'm low
Yeah,
key
was.
yeah.
jealous. I'm low
I
key
would
jealous. I'm
love
not
to
gonna
go to
lie.
Gettysburg. Yeah, I'm right there
Gettysburg,
with you, dude. I want to go
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
it would
It's
be
awesome.
amazing. You know, they have
you know
a
what? We
somewhat
should
of
do
a
Gettysburg next year.
they have somewhat of
Red
a
Legends.
paranormal convention there called the Gettysburg called the Getty. I can't fucking talk.
I've
Gettysburg
heard.
Bash.
Yes, I've heard of that. I've had friends that have
Mhm.
gone to
So
that, and they're like, "It's awesome. You should go."
you never
So
know. Maybe we should set up a B3 PNG BCR Life
I'm gonna
Beyond
just
6
start
Feet.
walking. I'm gonna just
Right.
start walking for free,
Yeah.
and I'll see you
And
guys
I
then
will
Right.
next
walk
year.
1,000
Well, it's really
miles.
cool about the bash is like you do the whole ghost walking tour and you do the ghost walking tour and then you go straight to dropping acid at an EDM concert. And that's like the rest of the night. Then you wake up and you're all good.
Mm.
Well, so I have actually been to Gettysburg. And what's funny is my brother went there and did like an EVP. Let me get to the serious part. My brother did an EVP of Gettysburg and got some noises and got some what he heard his voices too in there. And
Mhm.
I swear my brother got all the ghost genes because he's the one, not like, Levi's, but like jeans, GENES. Um, just gonna keep rolling through these. Because he's the one that gets all the experiences. He's the one that goes to like stuff at night and hears all this stuff, gets EVPs, goes to these crazy things, and does like investigations with some branches out in Omaha. And I'm over here just like I could be literally in the middle of the most haunted place in the world and just be like, just like Gil being like, yep,
That-
this is pretty cool.
That's
Yep.
that's okay. Before long, I'm gonna take your paranormal V card. So
Wow.
So
Heavy stuff right there.
forward, so forward of you, D. Golly.
Mhm.
oh, all right. So before
Valentine's
we kind of
card.
start slowly wrapping up, we still have one more submission, and
All right.
this was actually from last month, but we decided to save it for this episode,
That's right.
and we have a visual aid as well for this.
Oh yeah, we
So
don't need audio for this.
we
Perfect.
don't need audio because I'm gonna read the story while the picture's up on the screen. So
That'd be in.
and look, he got it up that quick. I can't even get a drink of my drink in.
Are
So
those eyeballs? Okay.
I think so. I think it's kind of like saying where they were standing, maybe. So
Yes.
this is from one of my friends here in Tennessee. His name's Jason. He's the founder of Get That Ghost Tennessee. And I'd reached out to him last week or last month about sending in any kind of experience he had. And he sent this in. I wasn't expecting like, visual aid and all that stuff, but I was like, hell, he put a lot of work into this. And so this is called the Mausoleum. And he goes, so it says, one afternoon, my team and I met at a cemetery on Thompson Lane in Nashville for a unique investigation. We had obtained permission to explore a mausoleum that had never been investigated before. Our exploration was confined to the third floor because the elevator was out of service. We ascended 3 flights of stairs to reach our destination. Immediately upon arriving on the third floor, we sensed a palpable heaviness in the air. The layout of the mausoleum, when viewed from above, resembles a cross shown in the illustration on the screen. As soon as we stepped off the stairs, I took out my recorder, introduced myself, and said hello. To our astonishment, a voice clearly responded with "hello" audibly right next to us. Energized by this encounter, we continued to explore, reading the plaques along the hallways. At the first intersection, I was drawn to a pitch dark section. Nowadays, I'm attracted to the dark, though I used to avoid it. As I crossed in, as I crossed into the lighted hallway, I introduced myself again on my recorder. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a man dressed in black, wearing a hat. I quickly ducked into the darkness, cautioning my teammate to stay back. She peeked around the corner, only to find there was no one there. Puzzled, I headed down to the reception desk to inquire about the mysterious man. The receptionist informed me that we were the only people there and described the Fedora Man. That's what she called him. He's a known spirit who frequents the mausoleum, reads plaques, and has on a fedora hat. I was not the first one to see him. Workers there have seen him several times as well. During our visit, we captured whispers, saw cat balls light up, noticed shadows moving across our laser grids, and observed a light strip activation inspired by recent studies. Inspired by recent studies, I decided to try the Estes method, which involves using noise canceling headphones connected to its spirit box or an app called Necrophonic to communicate with spirits. With the blindfold on, I listened intently for any responses. A few minutes into the session, I heard a deep male voice, although I couldn't understand what was said. Suddenly, I felt a firm hand grab my shoulder. Startled, yet thrilled by the contact, I quickly removed my headset and blindfold and overwhelmed with excitement. I jumped up and even managed to get a picture of the fingertips on my shoulder where I was grabbed. After expressing our gratitude to the receptionist, we left the site profoundly impacted by the experience. It's important to note that using these methods can be very risky. Always exercise caution and never investigate alone. Ensure you have at least one partner with you at all times for safety. I'm pretty sure I know the cemetery he's talking about, and it's like a well-known haunted cemetery in Nashville. And if it's the one I'm thinking of, I'm pretty sure I've been in that exact mausoleum. I'm not 100% sure if it's the same one, but I'm like 90% sure it's the same one I'm thinking of. And that place is creepy during the fucking day.
Mm-hmm. I can't get over the Hat Man, Hat
Yeah.
Man in the mausoleum.
Yeah.
Now that's two men been seen in a mausoleum that we talked about tonight. We've heard about tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Why would that be? Why would that be more powerful or any different than just the rest of the land?
I don't know. It's
Huh.
interesting, that's for sure.
Is it because more powerful and therefore more evil people are in mausoleums? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. It's interesting, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. That was great. That was awesome.
So yeah, thank you,
Oh, yeah.
Jason. Like I said, we were gonna share that
Yeah,
last
thank you.
month, but I was like, you know what, this will actually lines
is
up for our
perfect.
next one, so we're gonna save that. So
Mm-hmm.
hey, the Fedora Man's on the screen.
Yes,
no!
I am back. I had to do it with all the Fedora talk.
Right. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
For the last bit.
Gregory Fedora Man.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been nice if he had actually been wearing his fedora in the video. That'd have been sweet.
I was a little disappointed.
That would have. That's what I was wondering.
But
Right.
Mhm.
I said this in the chat too. I was like, I appreciate his style. Like he had a clear.
Mhm.
Like I was like,
Right.
damn.
Clean.
Okay.
Clean.
Okay. I now know who I'm
Mhm.
talking to when I'm talking to Gregory Fedora, and he's looking good.
Mhm.
That's all.
Hell yeah.
I mean it. I mean it.
He was. He
Yeah.
was
Well,
looked very profesh.
we
Mhm.
wrapping
Yeah.
up the show, y'all. Is that what we're
I
doing?
think so. I
We
did have
about
a
at that
cemetery
point?
story, but I'm gonna save it till next time. If you guys give a shit,
You gonna
you'll
save
ask
it?
me about it next time.
But see, I've actually got. I've
We
I
will
give a
actually-
shit,
always care.
But my
Jeez.
memory doesn't give a shit. So
Take
it's
notes.
not like
K-Biz.
Let's wrap it up.
Nobody
Let's
asked
wrap
me
it
either,
up.
So.
And see,
ask
I
anybody I love.
Oh.
I don't remember anyone's birthday. I barely remember my birthday.
I
Okay, and that's
actually,
just because other people remind me. Okay, so it has nothing to do with how much I care. I'm not trying to cut you off.
I actually have a cemetery story that can be saved for the next episode too, based on the episode topic.
What is the
that
next
topic?
episode?
Tell
Yeah,
us.
please,
So
please.
the next episode, which is I've already looked at. I know the date for sure this time.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
It's gonna be April 5th.
Mhm.
You know, right around April Fool's Day. And this, thank you. And K-Boo's This
Oh.
K-Booze was actually your idea a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be haunted. This is gonna be haunted paranormal games and pranks.
Mm-hmm.
And what we had talked about, we have a month for all four of us to do one of these paranormal games.
Yes. Yes. Have you
I
guys thought
forgot
about
all of
which
this.
game we're gonna?
Gil's already
Yeah,
volunteered for
no.
one.
Gil and I have planned. Gil and I
Oh.
have it. We have it
Are you guys
planned
doing?
what we're
Are
going
you
to
doing?
do.
Can we talk about what we're possibly going to do? Can I
What
know?
the hell?
Really? You have a present? Is it a?
That's
Is
our
it a
paranormal game.
presentation? Oh,
That's our paranormal game.
I clicked the wrong thing and I'm going with it.
Paranormal-
the
Enjoy.
game of
Everybody's
life.
still watching. I spent a long time on this outro video. We're watching it through.
I'm not even
I'm
sure what's
sorry.
happening.
An asteroid is hit. This is future. Asteroid is hitting into Earth slowly,
Just
and
enjoy.
looks like it's not getting in closer. This was part of our Jeopardy game.
Oh.
Come on, this
Catchy
music.
little
I
tune.
think this took forever to sync with the music.
Catchy little tune.
All right, sorry I clicked the wrong thing there.
We have no idea what we're doing. So
Where were we?
We're all professionals here.
If you've made it this far in the show, it's because you love us. It's because you love us for that kind of shit. So
Right.
I stand by that.
Mhm.
You're
Oh.
the real
K-Booze, what are
motherfuckers.
you playing?
Next month. Sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
so-
the Japanese ghost bathtub game. That
Oh.
one freaks me out.
I think I'm just gonna
Japanese
do
bathtub.
the old classic.
You have to research it.
I'm gonna do the old classic Bloody Mary.
Red paper, blue paper.
Are we
Charlie,
videoing
Charlie.
ourselves do this? Can
have
we?
to?
Can we
Oh
video
my
ourselves do
God!
this and play it
We
for the
sh-
episode?
We should.
Joey,
Well,
where
sorry,
are we
sorry, the
gonna?
bathtub one? My fault.
I'm not doing the bathtub one.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it right now. Fuck this, guys. Let's go. No,
Sorry, bad idea. My fault. Never mind.
Great idea. Let's go. I need new income.
Oh.
But to kind of explain the topic here,
Mhm.
you know, if you've ever heard of any of these creepy paranormal games, such as Bloody Mary, Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board, the Elevator game, if you've ever played any of these paranormal games and had any really weird fucking experiences, we want to hear about it. And we're adding in pranks because it's right around April Fool's Day. If you've ever scared the shit out of somebody in a
I am so
paranormal
excited
way,
for the pranks.
Mhm.
No, fuck that. Anyway, if just your greatest goddamn prank, I'm standing by that one. I have one that's
Those are
legendary,
the
and I
only calls
expect
we're accepting. Pranks,
got-
awesome fucking pranks, and paranormal
fucking
games.
awesome. Like some epic fucking pranks because I have my sister who will back me up on a diabolical, a deleterious prank that I pulled on her with Sam's Club shaving cream when I was like 7 years
Oh.
old.
God.
Yeah, no, the cases of Barbasol. I'm still to this day, I'm like, I've only lost brain cells since then. So I've been excited. I need to brag. Anyways,
Damien, please
Civic-
continue.
Mhm.
Well, I guess we're gonna
I'll
do
mute
any
now.
kind of pranks. Mine's gonna be a paranormal type prank. It's because me and one actually it was me and Keith kind of spooked a couple of our friends at a cemetery. So that's all I'm gonna say.
All right. So next month is gonna be a really fun episode, y'all.
Hell
Tell
yeah.
your friends, tell your family, tell your dogs, tell your moms.
And if you haven't tried any of these paranormal games, you have a month to try them and call in and
I
tell us
can-
what happened.
I can give y'all a list. Email me.
Yes.
I did a show on paranormal games, and there's some
There's
freaky
a
stuff
lot
people are
of 'em,
trying out
yeah.
there. It's
Yeah.
The Midnight Man. Just research it. It's so
Mhm.
fucking scary.
A lot of
All
them.
right. All right. We did all that. What else?
We did all
Let's
that.
close it up. Let's close it up.
I think we should. I think it's about time to wrap this show up because it's went a little longer than normal this
we
week.
went long. We went long
did.
tonight.
So until next month, April 5th, here's a toast to the ghost in your hall.
The Bigfoot hiding in your yard.
The gray waiting for you to fall asleep.
And may the ghosts be forever in your favor.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
April 5th, Paranormal Games and Pranks.